were in the epicenter of Chatham, Virginia. The very first season of Moonshiners on the Discovery Channel was this zip code. It wasn't near us, it was right here. So the t-shirts for the show were printed right across the street. This building, this little campus, was the Napa Auto Parts store when I was in high school. I used to get my spark plugs here for my 73 Nova. That was a sweet ride. But I'm going to walk you around the front.
All right.
So this is downtown Chatham, Virginia, right off of Main Street. You take a left at the light.
The light.
There's only one stoplight in this town, so when people say which light, you can just re-emphasize the V. But this is just a very modest clinic, and my philosophy and theory is I would much rather have a bunch of small clinics than one mega center, just because I do believe that rehabilitation and therapy and healing is a journey, and the accountability needs to be ultimately transparent. So I think big clinics have lots of places to hide, little clinics have no places to hide. Mm-hmm. All my problems are right over there in Walmart, so if I don't get somebody better, I'm going to see them later
Small
on.
town practice.
But anyway, Mountain River Physical Therapy is actually over 30 clinics in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Florida, Virginia. And my buddy Bert Reed started that thing. He's an excellent manual therapist. He's a fellow trained. The guy is both chiropractic and physical therapy trained. Dick Earhart was his mentor. And when I had so many irons in the fire that I couldn't run a clinic and write books and teach courses, I wanted to make sure somebody rented this real estate and brought honor to it. So they do every day.
Ray, where did you grow up in relation to this clinic?
About 4 miles that way. We were out in the country, and this is down. We moved here in '75 when I was 10 years old, and my dad left the business world, became a Methodist minister. And this was a community I really wanted. This is the only community I ever wanted to be successful in. I wanted, if I were successful everywhere else and I failed here, I would not feel like a success.
Yeah. Do you feel, is it hard to be an expert in your own backyard, or?
You got to prove it every day, just like you do everywhere else.
Right.
I have to be an expert case by case. There is, sometimes my reputation brings them in the door, but the expectations are there when they walk in as well. Mm-hmm. Back down the side alley, we'll go back in and go to the war room. So anyway, we always knew that the real estate up front would be a good clinic, and if we get a chance to walk in the clinic later, you'll notice that the only place to sit in that clinic is a waiting room. Because none of my pieces of equipment have chairs in it. Right. We got enough of those damn things already, so the last thing I'm going to have you do is sit down and do anything active. And so it's a manual therapy clinic. We dry needle. I've got a class 4 laser in there. We love our Kaiser stuff, but we love our kettlebells too. And so you might see somebody get a dry needling procedure on their neck paraspinals, a few manipulations, but instead of doing a conventional therapy thing with, TheraBand on your head, they might do a half Turkish get-up with a beanbag. So I'm constantly trying to isolate the situation, but integrate the movement. If I've got to do isolation exercises to get there, I do, but whole movement after every treatment in some, exactly. Yeah. So the war room is the downstairs of the clinic, and none of the employees of FMS work here except me and my brother Matt, because I don't think anybody else wants any part of this. He's a religion and philosophy major. I'm a physical therapy major with a little bit of strength coaching sprinkled in. And my book chapters don't come to me in the order that the book is bound. They literally come to me the way they come to me. So I think about concepts. Like if we were to truly do the economy of movement, then we could maybe make a statement like physical currency. And the patterns of your life define that heartbeat, and the patterns of your life define your function, and the capacity and way you dispense your energy sort of decides how fit you are, and ultimately your production is what people judge you by. So we have the term in the NFL, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, right? So there's only so much we can figure out at the combine. At some point we're going to drive this car, you're going to drive that body, and we want to know what's going on with it. And I haven't really changed what I've been doing once I started doing this, but I am learning how to discuss it, I think, better and simpler, and that's the journey.
Right.
If you can win a fight in 3 moves, it's way better than 12. It just is. So that's what we do.
Love it.
The think tank, here it is.
This is it.
Yep. It gets noisy when we're debating certain things, so we've got the doors right there. And then we got a second part of the campus, which is the entire headquarters of FMS and the education building. When we do workshops here, live, we do them in the boardroom, and we do them virtual. We shoot them up in the studio, so we can go there and check that out.
All in one spot. It's amazing.
Yeah. Now, what was this building? This building was a mill, feed store, basically a place where you came to get your everything from your dog food to your cornbread or whatever. And the mill was on the back side. When we renovated and gutted this building, believe it or not, in the big room over there, there were church pews. And one of the church pews was curved. And my daughter and her fiance painted this, and this is the symbol that sits on top of the FMS. This is the symbol for FCS, which is our capacity test. This is the symbol for the Y balance test, which is an upper and lower body balance test, but I use the yin-yang inference because it's all about equilibrium. It's not about how good is your balance, it's how symmetrical are you and how good is your balance. And then this is our SMA symbol, and it's the caduceus, but it's turned on its side. There's movement in that caduceus, and there's movement in our caduceus, so we're not medical, we're movement medical. So
That's so good.
yep.
Story. What a great gift. I'm assuming that was a gift to you from your daughter?
I commissioned it.
Yeah.
I commissioned it. So the way it works here, and you feel welcome to do a 360 because you'll see these exact same logos in our brands, but any good idea I have over there goes through a lot of filters before it makes it here. And I present it to the partners, I present it to Lee, I present it to whatever, and then it becomes a 1-year journey to turn it into a course, to turn it into an educational track. So every one of these things started in a messy place like that and wound up being budgeted for in a place like this. Yeah, so it's messy. You know, I mean, I could show you where we change oil, but it's exactly what you're thinking, you know. So anyway, we got our staff offices that come up through here, and nobody's here right now because we've got our entire staff either working from home or on a video shoot in California. But these are just some of the accoutrements along the way and some of the things we've done. But any call to FMS customer service usually goes to one of those 2 chairs.
Is that that's the cover of?
Let's go with the movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Cool story about this. Larry Draper, my publisher, and I didn't know what to put on the cover of the movement book, and I just didn't want another Vitruvian man or another anatomical picture. Last couple of pages of the book, I said, the guy in the picture running is thinking no more about what he's doing than the bird with the wings extended. They're both just doing what they got to do next. And I sort of look at that because there's no Fitbit, there's no heart rate strap, there's no Nike shoes, there's no strap on the knee. It's just a guy running on the beach. And that's what movement means to me. Well, anyway, we looked for a bunch of professional photographs and couldn't find one. And my publisher found this, that just somebody who was adjusting his camera one day actually took that by accident, but posted it online because of the way it laid out. And we reached out to him and asked him, could we buy the digital image from him to never be used in any other way other than what we want again? And he said, sure, about $250. So we counter offered $500. Because, and it just means a lot to me. So I'm a water guy, we do paddle and stuff like that, but that bird getting ready to do what he's got to do is not contrived, he's not posing, he's not doing it because other birds are looking at him. He's getting some air under his wings, he's getting ready to take off. This guy's getting that foot right under his head because he's getting ready to push off. ta-da, that's all it is. And the whole point is we get real technical in the movement book, but if we can't end back up here, then how do we serve? That's to the people that we serve every day, that's what movement is. It's not the angles, the measurements, the manips, the cavitations, the needles, it's nothing. All that is in service of that. And we can't forget it, so that's why I got it covered.
That's awesome.
Homemade with that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep. Whole movement.
Very cool.
Whole movement.
Awesome.
And then this is the one that kills me. Get the bourbon room and going up the steps.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Vito.
So the formal FMS is here. The only other thing you hadn't seen is our studio, but we left a nice open space to get to the studio. So this is referred to as the bourbon room. You can ping pong, you can pool table, you can bourbon, but it's an old historic building. This is the one room we didn't want to modernize. We just wanted to basically refurbish it and get it going. So we got some Super Bowls in here, throw some darts, play some pool and stuff like that. By the way, when we bring the golden doodle in here, he stalks that bear. If we'll face the bear the other way, he's fine. As long as the bear's facing this way, he freaks out. He just can't handle it. Yeah, he can't handle it. And I mean, you know, it's good. It means he's got some good DNA, because if that bear was alive, I'd ask him, don't be funny to do it. Coming upstairs, we've got the FMS studio. And if any of you guys have seen our podcast or any of our online courses, any of our exercise videos, any of it, it all comes right out of here. So when we're the podcast, it's a couple of chairs here, and that's the backdrop, and me and Lee and Ashley are doing our thing. When you see Greg Cook doing a whiteboard, it's right here. When you see our exercise videos, they're shot against that wall. And when you see us doing wide open floor stuff, you see that set of stall bars mounted here. So we've got 3 different ways we can shoot in this studio. And that's all due to Andy and his engineering and his knowledge of the IT and the cameras and stuff like that. And when COVID hit, we just pivoted and took everything virtual. So we teach live courses from this situation. I still like teaching our level 2 stuff in a face-to-face way. But FMS level 1 is almost like CPR. As long as you understand the concept and get the reps, you're going to be fine. Right? You can stand next to Greg Cook, but you're not a better screener by meeting me. And that's what I want to tell people. I mean, the information's there. Do it right. Don't make shortcuts, and don't start chucking tests away because you don't understand them. Wait till they're no use to you, and then chuck them away. So, perfect.
All right, guys, we got Brett Winchester versus Greg Cook in bags. Let's see. Go for it, B-Dub.
Little strong, guys.
Let's go.
There you go.
Oh. Oh, ugly. Wow. Bang. Gray will take one on the first round. Come on, B-Dub, get your stuff together, bro.